Okay. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for coming today, for being with us. My name is Christina Ajemian, and Catherine Honey and I are co-presidents of AAUW Massachusetts. And we welcome you to this, our AAUW planning meeting. Since there are some new members on this call, or new folks who don't know an awful lot about AAUW Mass, I'm going to share some information. There are 6 branches in AAUW Massachusetts, and which totals up to about 200, a little bit more than 200 members, branch members, and then we have another 200 in national members that are not affiliated with a branch but are members of AAUW. So a total of about 400 members. So we're very happy to report that we have 22 new members. And we're going to talk about that. This is our meeting summary, and I probably should have started with that first. This tells you what we're going to be talking about, more or less, the different items, and we'll go over each one. You can see what they are for yourself. New members, Nick Whistle, a little bit about money, about our college student members, STEM program, public policy, and a couple of other things, nominating committee in particular, and introductions. We want to be sure to meet you, have you introduce yourself if you're new to us today, and even if you're not. So to continue, I wanted to say that we are very happy to report that we have 22 new branch members, with every branch gaining at least 1 member. We congratulate the Boston branch on their rapidly growing membership and their efforts to make the Boston branch once again a key branch in Massachusetts. Here comes Liz. Okay. In addition to membership at the branch and state levels, AAUW also encourages partnerships with colleges and universities in the area and the state. And at this moment, there are 11 active college and university partners. You can see them listed there. We're very proud of that. We look forward to exploring new opportunities to collaborate with these partners. And again, there they are listed. As we proceed with our very full agenda today, I'm going to go on to the next page. Catherine, if you don't mind, there we go. We must be aware of the time. And as you all make your presentations, please do your best to stay within the limits of 2 to 3 minutes so that we can end as closely as possible to 5:30. And I thank you all for that. I know it's hard sometimes, but I thank you all. And now we'll begin with our new members, 4 new members who will tell us, they're going to introduce them today. We're going to tell us a little bit about themselves, their work, and the connection to AAUW. And I'll start with Cynthia Ayeza. I think if she is here, I did see her earlier. Cynthia is an AAUW International Fellow at Emerson College. And she spoke in December at our Taunton area branch about her work. And Cynthia, if you could begin, where are you?
I'm here. Thanks,
okay, there she
Chris.
is. Can everybody see Cynthia? Okay. Thank you, Cynthia.
All righty. Thank you. Thank you so much, Chris, and hello to everybody. Thank you for having me. As Chris has said, I'm Cynthia Ayeza. I'm from Uganda originally. I am based in Needham, Massachusetts. It's good to see that there's someone from, the neighborhood, so I'm kind of excited to connect with them. And of course, as we go along, I'll want to know how I can maybe get my own college involved, as a partner. I don't know what that takes, but I think it would be great. A little bit about my work. I am doing an MFA in creative writing at Emerson College. And my work is really, I'm working on a collection of essays that cover domestic violence, agency, women, maybe a little bit of cultural criticism, specifically looking at my own country. But my interest is also focused on accompanying spouses from Africa and how the system guarantees their vulnerability once they get abroad, once they are in the diaspora. So that's partly what I am researching. I've been chatting to women, I collected a story from San Francisco, some from Seattle, some from within Boston. And I'm looking forward to just kind of putting that information together. And I hope that it can start conversations that can better protect women who come here with to study, or who come with their spouses and find themselves in positions where they can't really advocate for themselves. So that's it about me. And I hope it's good to see some of the faces that I saw the last time. I look forward to, getting to know the newer ones. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Cynthia. We heard about Cynthia's work in more detail, and it was wonderful to be able to spend some time with her. Our next new member is Uzezi Okinedo, and I saw that she was checked in. Uzezi Okinedo is also an international fellow, AUW International Fellow at UMass Boston, and a member of the Boston branch, a new member of the branch. So Uzezi, if you would speak, I think you will pop up on the list of people who are here.
Yeah.
Okay, there she is. All right, Uzezi, welcome.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm a bit late.
Not at all. Not at
yeah, I had my computer installing some updates, so it kind of took me a while to log in. Well, I'm a third-year PhD student at UMass Boston. So I'm in the Department of Biology, and I research on plant genetics. So I'm currently working on rice plants, studying the genetic diversity in rice, and trying to understand how we can use the genetic information in rice plants to improve agriculture and to improve the farming of rice plants in sub-Saharan Africa. Yeah, and I recently got in touch with the AAUW Massachusetts branch, and I'm hoping that me participating with the AAUW Massachusetts branch can, help me build more community with other fellows and other women here. Apart from my research, I'm also interested in seeing women and girls being empowered. So I spend my free time volunteering in initiatives that help to empower girls, especially girls in science, technology, and engineering and maths. So yeah, I don't know what else I should talk about again.
Uzezi, you were a judge, were you not, at the recent Region 5 Science Fair? Could you say something about that experience, what that was like to be actually in touch with young people as they worked on their science projects?
Yeah, so the initiatives mostly I've been in touch with usually like with girls in my home country. So coming to the United States in 2020 was like a whole new experience. So I volunteered to be a judge for the just concluded Massachusetts Engineering and Science Fair at Bridgewater State University. So yeah, I really saw like a lot of young people really do a lot of like wonderful work in science, but there was something I kind of noticed there was that there were very few girls, and particularly few girls of color. So, and it's kind of something that kind of worried me, because I'm a scientist, and I was like, I was looking forward to meeting like, people that look like me, but I don't know. It's just an observation. I think maybe I am jumping into conclusions. That's just like a small sample of people I saw at Bridgewater State University. But so I think maybe my remaining time here in Boston, I would like to like maybe get involved in initiatives that empower girls in that aspect, especially girls from underrepresented groups, so that they can get involved with things like that at an early age, like in high school. And
yes, wonderful. We were so lucky to have you as a judge at the science fair, and that you could bring your different perspective to looking around at us. Sometimes we don't we need that different view, that different lens to look at ourselves and what we need to do. And your interest in empowering girls and in the STEM fields is what we're about here too at AAUW Massachusetts here. So thank you, Uzezi, and I'm sure I hope that you can perhaps get in touch with others, with Cynthia, with other fellows that you may be able to connect with, or other people in the Boston area that can help support you and help, and we can mutually help each other empower girls and help them learn more in the areas of STEM. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you.
And our next new member that we're going to hear from is Yadira Martinez, who just rang the doorbell. She just came in. Yadira is a current student at Southeastern New Hampshire University, just about to finish her degree. And she works at Boston Mutual Life Insurance Company. She's the CEO's executive assistant and is a new member of the Canton branch. And Yadira, if you would say hello and we can find you.
Or if you can hear me.
There you are. All right. Nice to see you.
Very nice to meet you all. Through research I was completing, I am still completing for my current course. Sorry, I'm working from home today and I have one with me who wants to be part of the call.
That's okay. You're multitasking, Yadira. The name of the game is multitasking, right?
So I'm excited to be a part of the AAUW and be a part of what you do and learn from it and grow as well. It's going to be, I feel like, an awesome partnering opportunity to also share ideas and how to attract other members, new members. And I don't have anything really much to say, but it's exciting to be a part of the meeting and part of the group. Forward to what that means.
Well, we're thrilled that you're with us. It was very exciting to meet you at the Canton meeting a couple of weeks ago, when you told us about everything that you're doing with your 2-year-old twins and working on your degree and wanting to go on for your master's. Tell us a little bit about your job. You are the executive assistant to the CEO. What kinds of responsibilities does that entail for you?
Oh, so that is a little bit of everything. I work with our executive leadership team in our strategic initiatives for the company.
Mhm.
I also work with our Making an Impact team, the charitable side of the house, where we work with different organizations throughout Massachusetts and nationwide as well to donate funds or have activities for our employees to be able to, put packets together for whichever organization we're partnering with. I'm also part of our annual report committee, putting together our annual report, what the messaging is like, what it is that we want our policy holders to hear. I work closely with our CEO and outside companies and building relationships, making sure we're up to date as to, policies and regulations that are out there. Currently, there's the state of California that affects the way we do business. So just making sure that the CEO has everything he needs, but also that we know he can't be everywhere at once. So, when he does his business travel, I'm his face at the organization. I'll attend meetings with our leaders. And it's been awesome to be able to grow and be able to work with our executive team and giving them advice and kind of putting my his name is Paul Caranto. So I say putting my Paul Caranto hat on and saying, this is what he would think, these are the questions he would ask, and, preparing them prior to them actually meeting with him so they have all of the information before he asks.
Wow, that sounds like heavy responsibility. And it sounds like he has a lot of confidence in you that you as you so obviously deserve from everything that you're describing. And what a wonderful opportunity for you to be in on the what goes on in the central office and the main office and learn how things happen. And insurance is complicated. So my hat goes off to you. I can't understand my own little insurance that, we get car, house, and to be part of the running of the whole thing, it's very impressive. I want to thank you. Thank you for taking the time from your little ones on your day off to be here with us today. And look forward to hearing and seeing you more often. Thank you, Yadira.
Thank you.
And lastly, we have June Cruz, who is a member of the Taunton branch, a new member of the Taunton branch, and she is a grant reviewer at the Massachusetts Cultural Council. She works also for the Habitat for Humanity, and I am looking forward to hear June describe a little bit more about what she does.
Hey everyone. I am a new member, but I've also been a part of the book club for about 2 years. So I've got to speak to some of the ladies often, which has been nice, which was another reason why I was excited to join, because I know about the initiatives that are going on at the state level right now. But also I liked the STEM conference that I attended, I think last summer it might have been. So what I do is I do part-time grant writing with South Shore Habitat, and we make sure that we can secure the money for affordable homes for low-income families, especially in areas where they have been kind of just iced out of finding any real estate because the pricing is so high. But I know one of the things that Chris and Catherine wanted me to talk about was DEI and the new initiatives that Mass Cultural Council has put into place. So what I work with is the STARS residency program, and that allows artists and scientists like the Mass Audubon to partner with teachers and to bring in curriculum that you wouldn't usually get just in your everyday classroom experiences. So this year, though, the Mass Cultural Council implemented DEI standards. So they said that any grant that came through that had an underserved population would get priority funding. And the really awesome thing about it was they got an uptick in applicants this year. But what I found as a reviewer was it wasn't just about race. There was disability, LGBTQ, and mental health were all addressed within the grants. And it managed to bring in some amazing programs into the school systems. I just wanted to share a few that I thought were really neat. Professional musicians coming in, giving lessons to students with disabilities so that they would be able to be a part of their peer group at the end of the year show. Students that are in behavioral schools linking up with acting troupes to identify their feelings, talk about their personal narratives, and then how their feelings and their personal narratives can help them make different decisions moving forward. An international theater company was going to be brought in, I think, from the Philippines, because the school did a survey and found out that most of their population is Filipino. So they wanted to make sure what they were bringing into the school would resonate the most with the population that they serve the most. It was just like amazing things that the educators are doing, but they're also bringing in these residencies with the different artists, the scientists. They also address global warming and different things like that. It was just a really diverse group this year as compared to last year. And I guess I just say all this because I'm a fan of DEI. I think it allows us to take what we already know exists and works within our schools and towns and communities, but it brings in like a variety of experiences. It lets us learn and grow, but then it allows everybody to really feel like they're being seen and heard and connecting with people that look like them. So.
Very exciting, June. I think we heard a little bit about the DEI from you when you were with us at our book review lunch that we had a couple weeks ago, but sounds like there's a lot more to it, and we'd have to have you come back again and talk to us some more and maybe some examples. I love the idea of bringing in musicians and bringing in groups that are specially trained to deal with young people who have difficulty with their emotions. And that's all part of diversity, equity, and inclusion. and fostering a sense of belonging in our communities. I think it's wonderful. Thank you. Aren't these four women so exciting to listen to? And so interesting. Yes, and applause for them. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Uzezi. Thank you, Yadira. And thank you, June, for sharing a little bit about your career path, your projects, and your future. And we're so proud of you and so glad that you're part of AUW. We wish you much success. Thank you again. We have more new members that I think have joined us that are with us today, and we look forward to having them introduce themselves later on in the agenda. But right now, I'm going to move on to what we affectionately call NCWSL, the National Conference for College Women Student Leaders. Again, to tell you a little bit about that for the sake of people who may not know, every spring AUW hosts a national conference for hundreds of college women students at the University of Baltimore outside of Washington, D.C. For 3 days, young women attend sessions on career development, mentorship, financial literacy, racial justice activism, and more. They can explore postgraduate programs, careers in a variety of disciplines, especially STEM, and other opportunities for their future. The keynote speaker this year is Minda Harts, H-A-R-T-S, an assistant professor of public service at NYU and the best-selling award-winning author of The Memo, What Women of Color Need to Know to Secure a Seat at the Table. It sounds very interesting. For several years, the North Shore branch of AUW has been supporting young women with a scholarship to attend NCWSL. This year's scholarship recipient is Mary Nankia, who will hopefully share a little bit about herself and her project. I think I saw, let's see, Nellie and Liz Bergola. Were you able to connect with Mary, Nellie, or Liz?
Yes, actually Mary is in this is Nellie Wadsworth.
Okay.
Can you
And
hear
Mary
me?
is-
Can you see me? Yes, okay.
Yes.
So yes, Mary actually is in the chat. So I mean
In the call. Wonderful.
call.
Do you want to introduce her, Nellie?
okay, Liz, do you have anything else to say about the NCCWSL before I introduce
Oh,
Mary?
Okay. Yes, Liz. Yeah.
Okay, I think Chris really gave us all a very good overview of NCWSL, and we have been fortunate on the North Shore area branch to sponsor young women, sometimes one or two for a good number of years now, mostly from North Shore area colleges. And this year, we are very fortunate to have Mary as our representative at NCWSL. She is outstanding. I will let Nellie introduce her because Nellie really knows her best, but it's been an ongoing thing for us, and we are firmly committed to sponsoring the student to NCWSL each year. And they come back and talk with us about their experience, and it's usually just overwhelmingly positive and exciting. It's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for a young woman, a college student or a graduate student. We've had both, and they really appreciate the experience. So I'll turn it back to Nellie.
Thank you, Liz. But before we go to Nellie, I just want to also say that the South Shore area branch is also in the process of identifying a student to go to NCWSL. So it's a wonderful, as Liz says, a wonderful experience. Okay, Nellie.
Well, thank you all. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Liz. Yes, we are very fortunate to have Mary Nankia. She is in a master's in computer science at Pittsburgh State University, that she will be representing our branch at the North Shore branch AAUW to the NCWSL conference in Baltimore. So I think I don't have to say a lot of things. So I will just let Mary share about herself and also talk about she has a lot of projects going on in her country, and it is so glad to hear that there are some other in our fellows from other countries. So I think that's wonderful. So Mary, can you, are you in?
Yes, I am. Yes, can you hear me well?
Yes, welcome, Mary.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, I'm called Mary Nancha. I'm currently a graduate student at Fitchburg State University. I'm pursuing my master's degree in computer science. And currently, I'm also very fortunate to be the recipient for the Nikweso Award for attending the conference this year. I'm very privileged to, sit on the table with all of you. And I would like to appreciate you for, giving us a chance, especially us from the third world countries, to feel the impact of your work in this current generation where we are trying to, foster women and make sure they are heard and represented at every growth level. Currently, part of Women in Technology Uganda, which is an organization that is based in Uganda, and its biggest vision is to empower women at all levels of their, understanding, whether they are school dropouts, whether they have gone high in education, and even those that are in very influential places, to keep there, to keep growing, and to, keep supporting other women to climb, the ladder. And one of the projects that we do at Women in Technology Uganda, it's abbreviated as WITO. At WITO, we support young girls to take on classes in entrepreneurship, in STEM, and also we partner with other organizations within Uganda that can, offer support in terms of resources, in terms of trainers, to, make sure that the projects be very impactful. And the numbers are really doing well so far. And there's a lot of, new businesses that have started up. So many girls have gotten a chance again to education, because currently we are actually able to award a diploma in computer science, which is a very big milestone. And it's amazing how, these same women are competing for industrial jobs in Uganda and outside Uganda. I work with a great team of women, and one of them currently is coming to MIT this year. I think I mentioned that to Nelly. She's coming for a fellowship. She got a full sponsorship on a fellowship, and she happens to actually be the executive director. But even the team she's leaving behind to run the rest of the, shows that there is a lot of growth, and the organization is really growing. There's a lot happening with resources. We are, getting in touch with schools that need support on supporting girls to get engaged in IT related skill sets. And it's amazing that even when I reached here, I was able to support them remotely. I'm in touch with them. I support some of their projects, some of their mentorship projects. And I think one place, an area that I feel my impact is supporting these girls to actually pursue higher education. The norm in Uganda about girls and education is quite, alarming, because girls are kind of taken to be they're not given priority when it comes to pursuing higher education. They are kind of told that you have to be, a homekeeper, and keeping a home means stay home while the boys go to class. And that starts at a very tender age. And by the time the girl is in their teens, they literally have no focus beyond being a mother, or, being frustrated as a wife, or, having the lowest financial influence, and I always tell these girls that it doesn't stop at earning, getting one skill set, but it takes you to desire to grow, have a career path. And, I'm fortunate to be one of the the people that they look up to and can answer their questions about how to apply at a US university. How do I, write my statement of purpose? What are the key areas of research that are currently accepting and considerate to women of color, and you just make them feel like, okay, if you're there, we can be there too. We can climb there together and we both win, And I'm very pleased to share my future goal, which is actually pursuing my PhD next year. It's amazing how, I have fallen in love with machine learning. And it's amazing that every single day my skill sets have improved because I've been inspired continuously by fellow women, in the industry. And I was mentioning it to Nelly that I'm proud to know that Ugandans are actually active in participating in these growth forums. I'm happy to know that there is a Ugandan that is a new member. That is so amazing. Ayeza, I'm very proud to, having had this information from
have
you.
lunch. You're coming over.
Yes. And I was also pleased to actually know that even the other chapters in the other states have Ugandans on the team. There is just one I was mentioning to Nelly that is a current fellow in Kent State University. She's a PhD student. And I reached out to her and we had a very good conversation this week. And it's amazing that I mentioned to her that, oh, actually I'm part of the committee back in Uganda, rather back in Massachusetts. And to me, that's everything. Like, we can have more people, even from other regions of the world, to be part of this amazing, organization that is supporting women, both financially and also, with information that they need to know. And, sometimes this journey to success is really very tiring, especially when you feel like you don't have enough support of people around you. So we feel safe. We want to tell you that we, the new members, we feel safe around you. And it's one of my greatest achievements, being part of this organization. And as a recipient for this year's Nikweso Award, I would like to tell you that I will, represent you very well. That is number one. And number two is I will use that opportunity to be even more impactful than ever before. And I will not stop sharing my experience. I will not stop sharing what I've benefited from this group. I will not stop sharing, my future plans and struggles to, make another woman feel confident about themselves. And most importantly, I will bring back the feedback that I will have, gotten from the different ladies and women that I'm going to meet. And indeed, I will, promote the works of AAUW and make sure that, we get even more visibility, that people get to understand that they have support around them. And I hope for the best as I continue serving, as a member of this amazing organization. Thank you all and stay blessed.
Thank you very much, Mary. I see that you are already a wonderful ambassador for us, for your country, for the young women that you represent, for your program at Framingham State, for your...
it's actually Fitchburg State.
Fitchburg State. It's Fitchburg
Yeah.
State.
Maybe I just didn't mention something amazing is I am also currently the graduate assistant at the Center of Diversity and Inclusiveness at my university.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, I've held this position since I arrived here. I competed for it while I was in Uganda, and that gave me an opportunity to, understand how powerful my work has been, because I feel I was not chosen just because, I was the best candidate, but maybe because they saw and believed in me to serve in a whole new environment. And I would like to let you know that I've seen, how much my university is supporting diversity. And I'm glad that, I am putting energy and my own views to, making it a successful mission for the university. And thank you so much, Nelly. Nelly believed in me right from my first email I sent to her while I was applying to come to this university. She happens to be my director for international relations for, you know, the new students that come from all over the world. And honestly, you're an amazing person. Thank you so much for being
Thank
very
you.
impactful to us.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Nellie. Thank you, Liz. Thank you for everything that you all do for AUW and for people like Mary. Mary's an example of why we work so hard at AUW to offer opportunity, to extend opportunities to our young women and our girls, because this is the result. We've heard from 4 remarkable young women, 5 now, and all with connections to our AUW. Well, thank you all very much. Mary, good luck. And when you come back, we want to hear about your experiences at Nick Whistle.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'm not going to be able to stop talking about it, I think.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, I think next we're going to go on to a very brief little report from Robin, our treasurer, to share some information about our finances, in particular, the College Student Membership Initiative, or what's known as the 1881 Fund. And then Holly Bagley, our AAUW-MA membership chair, will tell us about the program and about a couple of the student members. So Robin, you're first.
Okay.
Okay.
We currently have $2,412 in the 1881 fund. Unfortunately, we haven't spent too much of it. We've only spent one student membership, paid for one student membership. So we still have a lot of money to purchase more student memberships, whatever. Our total checking account is $7,600, but that includes the $2,400 for the 1881 fund, and we have $5,700 in the savings account. It seems high, but I haven't gotten the yearly bills yet. We have insurance and Zoom and different things,
Yes.
and they haven't come in yet, so that's why the balance looks higher than it
Yes.
really is. It really will be. Okay.
Well, by our April annual meeting, but that should all be in order.
Yes.
You'll have,
Yes.
have more to report to our members.
Yep.
Thank you, Robin, keeping
Oh,
us
you're welcome.
keeping us in good shape.
Yep.
And Holly.
All right. Muted. Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Sorry about that. Good afternoon, everyone. And as Robin said, I'm going to encourage branches especially to participate in our college student membership initiative. And what it is, as you heard Robin say, is that we will pay for up to 2 per branch student memberships annually from the Historic Milestone Fund. And what is it to be eligible? All you have to be is a 2 or 4 year college student and be a resident of Massachusetts. In return, after we pay for the students, it's a win-win situation. We introduce the students to AAUW and all that it has to offer to them, such as the Nick Whistle program and Start Smart for negotiations for salary when they're beginning their first job. And it just plants the seed, we hope, for future membership in AAUW. And in return, the student will become an AAUW Massachusetts Program Development Advisor. And what does that mean? All it means is that the student promises to attend one branch meeting, either virtually or in person, and just let us know what things on campus are important to students that would also be something that AAUW would also be important for AAUW, for instance, STEM or sexual harassment or Title IX, or any one of the topics for equity that we cover. So how do you apply for the branches? We're up to this year's already, and there are 5 forms online which explain it all. And they're on our AAUW Massachusetts website, which needs some help in revising, but I will put the link to it in the chat, and you can just, when you get to the membership page, all you have to do is scroll down to the link for the College Student Membership Initiative and download the forms. Or if you want, you can email me and I will send you the forms. And the forms are an introductory letter, a fact sheet for branches, which tells them all about the program, a notice of intent to participate. Just all you have to do is send back to me saying, yes, we want to do it. And then a fact sheet for the students that you will recruit, and then a student membership recipient form. And just the student just signs up and says, yes, they would like to have their membership paid and they will participate. So and before I put the chat in, I just wanted to say something about the college and university program for AAUW. If your college is or university is already a member, a partnership, then all your students can enroll free for an AAUW-E membership. So it's something to look into. I heard, I think it was it Cynthia? Yes, was looking to get her college, to get Emerson to be a CU partner. And we would love Emerson to be a CU partner also. So
Yes.
just something to remember. And just one more thing, I can just speak for the South Shore area branch. Our student this year, and hopefully for the next 3 more years, is Sarah Looney. She's presented for AAUW. She started out in the 5th grade attending a STEM conference and has been interested in STEM and AAUW ever since. Right now she's a freshman at Harvard University, and she couldn't be with us today because she plays Division I rugby. So she's playing rugby as we are speaking. So she's a wonderful example of a student that can give back to us, and then she hopefully will go on and for AAUW for a long time. So I think that's all, unless anybody has any questions for me, and then I will put the information in the chat.
Thank you, Holly.
Okay.
A very comprehensive report, and we appreciate hearing all of that. Again, I reiterate what Holly and Robin said, that branches who have not taken advantage of it yet, you can still do that. And think of some high school student that you know that is now in college, and you'd love to introduce AUW to that student. So we have funds in the budget, so let's use them as fast as we can for that. And these are for the funds. This was devised to help those students who do not attend colleges or universities that are partners, but still in order to introduce AUW to them and to connect them with the branch. So that was the rationale for that fund being established and for this program to go on. Thank you both, Robin and Holly. And the next topic is the STEM Conference for Girls in Taunton, and conferences in Taunton and Weymouth. Catherine can share a page about the conference as I go on, and whenever you feel it's appropriate, Catherine. Sure, that yes, I want to say that we are planning a conference for girls in Taunton on July 15th at Bristol Community College, the Taunton campus. And while I talk about that, maybe we can get into the page, and they can take a look at the more details. So so why STEM? Why are we focusing so much on STEM, and why do we hear STEM at every turn around and we hear STEM, STEM, STEM? Why? Well, over the past few decades, we have seen the job market evolve to a point where even a basic entry-level position requires some level of digital literacy. A working familiarity with computers and with the software is essential. Opportunities in the STEM fields appear to outpace opportunities in other fields, especially in biomedical, pharmaceutical, engineering, and manufacturing careers, among others. Future financial security for women demands a minimal familiarity with the digital world, a base to build on for increased competency and independence. And we heard from Uzezi how that is very much recognized in her country and in other countries. So following the model of the Weymouth STEM Conference for Girls offered by the South Shore Area Branch of AUW in conjunction with the Weymouth Public Schools, the Taunton Area Branch was inspired to offer a STEM conference, we will offer a STEM conference for 50 girls, grades 4 through 8, in partnership with Bristol Community College, Massasoit Community College, Bridgewater State University, their Connect project at Bridgewater State, with Girls Inc., the Boys and Girls Club, and the Southeastern Mass STEM Network through our own Catherine Honey, who was a coordinator in that network. The Taunton STEM Conference will be held on July 15th. It's a Saturday from 9 to 1. We are grateful to AUW STEM Chair Lynn Howard, who as president of the South Shore Weymouth branch, and as the organizer of the Weymouth STEM Conference, has been very supportive of our efforts at the Taunton. So a special feature, you can see in the sheet that Catherine is highlighting here, all the different areas that include STEM. Workshops will not be offered in all of them, but in many of them, and they all relate. Those are all STEM fields. The attendees will be able to choose 3 workshops out of the 12 that will be offered. And they can, let's see, at least 4 workshops will be offered in each session. We now have, I think, 3 or 4 presenters that have been confirmed, I believe. They can choose to be able to choose 1 workshop to attend at each session. So the girls will be from grades 4 through 8. And let's see, is there anything else there that I want to highlight? Not right now. The STEM pathways, yes. A special feature of this conference includes a seminar for parents, for guardians, and for school counselors or anyone else interested to learn more about the many opportunities in STEM and other areas offered at our partnering institutions, the associate's degrees, the certificates that you can achieve at a community college, financial aid opportunities. Again, these are for parents and guardians, for the adults. Transfer avenues to 4-year institutions for their girls, for other children that may be in the household, and even for themselves. Governor Healy is working on presenting a program that will make tuition free at community colleges for adults over 25 who have never been enrolled in a school of higher education. So opening the door for people who feel that they may have missed their opportunity. But so they will have the chance, and especially if they attend this STEM pathway seminar with their younger girls, they'll hear about that and other, hopefully by then in July, it will be a reality. And this is what we hope that they will discover when they meet with the presenters. We're meeting this week with our partners at Bristol Community and the other partners in the school system, the Taunton school system. Did I mention the Taunton public school system? I don't know if I did or not, as another partner for us. And they're going to recruit the girls for us. So we'll have more details to share this continues to gel at our April 29th meeting. And the one important thing that I want you all to take away from this, to other branches and anyone listening today, is that we want those interested to come to observe, come to this session to observe the girls and the presenters in action, become inspired to offer a STEM conference or at least a STEM workshop in your area. And we're very happy to be supportive of that as well. Weymouth and Taunton, and maybe another branch or another school, another institution will be inspired and replicate this STEM conference. Okay, thank you. And now, public policy, where the work gets done. See, Deb McDonald, I believe, is here. I saw her earlier, and she will tell us about our recent visit to the State House with 4 other, she and I, Liz Pergola, Carol Ream, and Stacey Vitale, all roamed the halls of the State House on this past Wednesday.
Thank you, Chris. I want to tell you all a little bit about the Common Start Bill in case you haven't heard of it. It's an act to bring high quality, affordable early childhood education and childcare to Massachusetts. And we've been trying to get this bill passed for the last several years. It did get through the House last year, but it didn't make it through the Senate. With Governor Healy's support, it looks like there's a lot of public support behind this bill. But what's very interesting, me personally, I've been asking people if they've heard of the Common Start bill, friends and acquaintances with small children, and it doesn't seem like the people of Massachusetts are really aware of this bill and what it could do for them.
Mm.
And so we really need to get grassroots support as well to get the bill through. So we've been lobbying this week at the State House. The Common Start Coalition sponsored the lobby day, and many groups, including AAUW, had contingents there where we went and spoke to people in the House and the Senate, the staffers, as well as when we could find a legislator. But I think we need a groundswell of support as well, so that these legislators are hearing from their constituents. And so the Common Start Coalition has also started a letter writing campaign of writing letters to the editors of the local newspapers. We wrote a letter to the editor for the Bulletin, which covers many neighborhoods in Boston. But if your branches have connections with local newspapers, even free things that are given away, anything that you can get it into, even if it's free in the grocery store, or if you have a local town email site, just getting this information out so that more people know about it and more people contact their legislators. So I did send Chris a copy of the letter that we sent to the Bulletin, which she's going to send to all the branches, so that if there is a group that you can contact, we just need to let the coalition know. If this letter has been vetted, but if you want to make changes, we can submit it to them. And then we'll let them know where we want the letter to be sent. And they'll follow up after we send the letter to see if they can get support for getting it in the local papers.
Thank you, Deb. I think it is important to inform more people about what this bill will do. We all saw during COVID how childcare just fell apart for women, and many women had to leave the workforce to stay home and take care for the children with the schools closed or education over the internet. Somebody had to be there and nobody take care of the little ones, so women stayed home, mostly the women, and they haven't gone back, and childcare has not come back. So we need to really, it's a real hole in our society and has been for as long as I can remember, but it's certainly worse. Oh, Liz, you have your hand raised. Yes.
Yes, I have a question, Deb, on the letter, because I think it's a great idea, but I'm not clear. Are you saying that the Common Start Coalition has to approve any letter that gets sent? Because I find that if I'm sending my local paper is the Gloucester Daily Times, and I'm happy to send a letter and sign it with my name, it's more likely to get published than if it's coming from, I don't know, somewhere else or someone else's, whatever, doing it. So I'm just wondering about the mechanics of that. I'm happy to, I haven't seen the letter, but I'm sure it's fine. And I might perhaps add one or two things, or I might contact some local agencies and ask them to, we have a big organization, Pathways for Children, that provides all of these kinds of services in Gloucester, and perhaps they would be willing to send a letter. But if everything has to go through the coalition, you know how those things are. People don't want to go through all that hassle. So can we just send our own letters is what I'm asking.
They just asked, for those of us that were on the call, they just wanted to check that the bill numbers and everything were correct. That was all they wanted to do, was just make sure that the information in the letter was all correct before we sent it.
Okay, okay. Well, maybe I will send a copy of that letter to the branches. And then maybe in the meantime, Deb, you could clarify with them. I understand that they
Sure.
want a letter that says, or looks like it's coming from a member of the coalition, that so that the information with the coalition's name on it is the way they want it. But individual letters might be okay, so long as,
Sure.
you know, the bill numbers and everything are correct. That might be, but you're right, we need a little clarification on that. Okay, I think
Sure.
the more letters, the better. And even they like stories. The coalition likes personal stories of difficulties, obstacles, dealing with childcare, because that seems to personalize it and humanize it, as those stories do. But I'll do that. And then in the meantime, Deb, if we can clarify that with the coalition.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Any question for Deb? Before we get in, we hear from Katie. It was exciting, exhausting, going up and down those corridors and the stairs and going from one end of the building to the other. But as always, it's just the way things get done. You know, we lobby, we show them what we're concerned about. They hear us, they see us, our faces, and it's and hopefully they remember. Thank you all for coming. There were 5 of us, and it was a great day to be there. It was really a spring day. It was wonderful. Okay. Katie Donovan. Katie Donovan is a former past president of AAUW-MA. She is the founder of the consultant firm Equal Pay Negotiations and is a leading pay equity expert. She'll give us a brief update on pay equity issues in Massachusetts and abroad, the nation. Katie.
Thank you, Chris. And it's great to see everyone. It's really nice to see the faces again. I put in chat a link to the Wage Equity Now Coalition. They are the group currently really moving or spearheading 2 bills on pay equity here in Massachusetts. One is salary transparency. So it would require pay ranges be included in job advertisements of employers of 15 employees or more. Since we are the first state that ever had a bill in 2015 that had this type of requirement, it didn't pass then, but other states have passed it since: New York, Washington, California, Colorado. So it's really taking traction. We're hoping this year is the year that Massachusetts gets to join in as well. The coalition has about 100 coalition members, so it's pretty big across different groups, racial groups, gender groups, businesses, unions. It's really a very diverse group. So we're hoping it passes. Last session, there was pushback from the business community. It seems that over the summer there was some work done that hopefully the pushback will have calmed down and things can move forward. The second bill, there's actually 2 bills for each, one in the House, one in the Senate. The second bill is about registering information on EEOC or equal employment opportunity about pay by gender and race into the state, the Secretary of State. And it's federal information that their businesses are already filing. So we hope that moves forward as well. Again, that is something that has been happening at the state level. More and more states are requiring businesses to send in information of their own personal or organizations, gender pay gap and racial pay gaps. So we're playing a little bit of catch up, but early enough that this should have some impact.
Oh,
And AAUW, we welcome you to be part of the coalition.
We can talk about that. Wonderful. Yeah. Thank you, Katie. This is always a never-ending story, isn't it? That we keep fighting, and especially with the discouraging news that I read recently in the paper that we have not really made any progress in our in catching up. We're still something like 77% at 77% on the dollar compared to men, even after other things are taken into consideration. So we thank you, Deborah and Katie, both for helping us stay up to date on two very important issues for women, on childcare and salary. Thank you. The term of the present leadership ends this June. And you know what that means, what needs to come next.
Chris,
Yes.
Deborah had her hand up, Deb McDonald.
that's
Deb,
right,
you had
Deb.
a question
Thank
before
you.
we move on?
Thank you, Deb. Go right ahead.
Oh, I just had a quick question for Katie. We've been trying to get AAUW-MAS added to the list of on the Wage Equity Now platform, and we haven't heard back from anyone.
So you filled in the form on the site
Yes.
and nothing happened?
Nothing happened.
All right, Deb, if you put in chat your email address, I'll make sure I connect you with one of the
Great.
leaders of the group.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks.
Good job, Deb. I didn't know you were already on that. See that? Yeah. What a good public policy team we had. She and Patrice Metro, who wasn't able to be here today, on our co-chairs for public policy for AAUW-MAS. And thank you again. Okay, so I guess we can continue about going to the nomination committee report and update. For an update, we are going to, I'm going to introduce Sandra Walker of the Boston branch.
Thanks, Chris. Hello, everybody. Nice to see all of you here today. The nominations committee has been established, and we've already met about 2 times to talk about the process and open positions. I am representing the nominations committee, but of course, I don't do all the work by myself. So the members of the committee are Chris Ajamian, Holly Bagley, Liz Fragola, Patricia Ho, and myself. Catherine, I think you're on the committee too, are you? Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Catherine Honey is also on there with us. So we are very interested in members who can fill the following vacant positions. They're listed, they're the co-presidents. So right now we have 2 co-presidents, and it really makes the work a lot easier. They won't say that, but it does. Secretary, a membership chair, a communications chair, and that position also includes the base data editor and constant contact. We also have an opening for a diversity, equity, and inclusion chair and a college university liaison. One thing I would also like to highlight is that we will take nominations from the membership. So if you would like to suggest or nominate another member that you think can fill one of these positions, and you see Catherine is moving the screen up and down so you can see, we ask that you please fill out the nominations form, and we'll send this out to the various branches and send it to Holly Bagley by March 31st, by the end of this month. So if you could do that, that'll be wonderful. Or nominate yourself. Sometimes people see skills in others that you don't see for yourself. So if someone nominates you, please accept. Also, support for the incoming leadership team. So you won't have to do this by yourself. There's a lot of support. There are resources and supports for those interested in being on the leadership roles. This includes the digital transition guide. And this guide, as you can see here, as Catherine highlighted, it will be available for the incoming leadership team. The guide will also include the AAUW Massachusetts bylaws on national contacts and strategies to support communication and organizational growth, such as constant contact. So I'd also like to say that both Chris and Catherine, our outgoing co-presidents, wonderful outgoing co-presidents, will meet with the leadership team in mid-May or June to do the transition meeting, and also in later in the year in June or December, June to December, in that time frame, to do the work on the constant contact. So we are very excited about recruiting the new team, and we have a wonderful outgoing team, and we look forward to hearing from folks. If you have any questions, please reach out to us, and we are happy to answer or give you more information about the positions that are open. Thank you all, and look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.
Thank you, Sandra. It's a great job. Catherine, do you want to say anything? You look like you're lit up there for a minute.
Oh, no, unless anyone has any questions, Chris and I and any of the members of the team could certainly answer or attempt to answer any questions you have in terms of time something might take, or, you know, the structure.
Actually, that's a great question. Someone did ask me about the time commitment. If they were, say, a membership chair, how much time do you think that would take? Or the DEI chair, per month, per week?
Yeah. Well, I think that for Chris and I, we did decide that we would have planning meetings, about, 4 per year, and that we would have one virtual program. So the leadership team really could come together and come up with their goals and then decide on what's manageable. Of course, Chris and I did have to kind of backpedal on some of the goals we wanted to get done because we had to look at the time it would take. At the beginning of our term, AAUW members mentioned they really would like to ensure that there were an increase in members, in particular relative to young women and diversity. So that is one of the reasons we worked with members to put together the college student membership program, and also to begin with the STEM conferences for girls in grades 4 to 8 in order to develop a pipeline and build relationships with people in the community who are interested in making sure that girls in an early age are engaged. So that's a very long answer too. It really has to do with the leadership team coming together and say, let's do 5 programs. Let's do 1 program. Chris and I think perhaps spent more time than someone else might relative to communication because we worked to develop a database for constant contact, and that's all in place. But it really would go back to the setting the goals. And I think Chris and I would advise to perhaps only identify 1 to 3 for that first year and then expand, because all of the people who will be part of the leadership team are committed and energetic, but also very, very busy. So I think for us, a word of caution to keep the goals reasonable and manageable, and then build on those the second year. But Chris and I are available to talk with anyone who's interested.
It's hard to say that we work on the, a membership chairperson would work 2 hours a week, 5 hours a week. It depends on how deep a person wants to get into the job. And Holly, you've been membership chair for us these last 2 years, pretty much most of the 2 years. And I think it's been outreach. Outreach is what we've tried to do, as Catherine said. starting with the high school girls, the girls in the STEM programs, building awareness, building connections as much as we can so that people know about us. And then once we talk to them, we can interest them in AUW. And if they know about us, see what we do, then that brings people into the organization to support those goals, support what we're doing. And it takes some creativity. Catherine's a queen of that. She is just has so many ideas all the time. And those ideas keep coming. So we are both here. I work hard and Catherine sprouts the ideas. And then she works hard too, the two of us try to get them going. But we'll be around. We're not planning to disappear. And we will be glad to work as much as we can. Or if the team comes in and says, we've got it under control, we're fine. We're not going to hang around if we're not needed. Yes, somebody's
Chris, this is Patricia.
Patricia. There you go. Hi, Patricia.
Hi, everyone. And I'm a past president. And I have to say that I am so very proud of AAUW Massachusetts and of our leaders. And, you ask busy people to take on tasks, and we are the ones who prioritize and who get things done, and who have the resources and the inner commitment to doing what you think you can to effect real change. I was really impressed by our speakers today, by the passion for commitment for equity, for DEI, of our new members and our other leaders. So I would really, really recommend that any of you who are even barely considering taking on a state position, please do so, because Chris and Catherine and so many of us others who've been around, I'm sorry to say, a long, long time, we're very willing to help and support you. So please, we are a proud organization that gets so much done in terms of public policy, in terms of advocating for women and girls. And you could hear that through our DEI work, through our efforts with Katie and Deb on public policy issues such as pay equity, which has really been dear to AAUW. So I want to say thank you, everyone, for really participating, and thank you for considering a leadership role. And thanks, Catherine and Chris, really just an outstanding meeting, so informative.
Thank you, Patricia. Yeah. Thank you.
I do want to, Chris and I want to thank actually the nominating committee, because during the last week, they've been reaching out to new members to welcome them. And during the attendees introduction, we have a few new members on the call. So we would like to make sure they have the time to introduce themselves. And we're so pleased that they're joining us.
Yes. Catherine, can we stop sharing, I think, and then we can see everybody? And we can go forward with some introductions. And thank you, Patricia. Thank you all for your support, your kind words. And we know that AUW is an organization that has been in the fight for 141 years now, and 42 years, I'm not sure. And we're going to continue to keep on helping women make progress, women and girls make progress. So we have some new faces here. I think, let's see, I'm going to go across and I'm just going to call on, I think, Hope Riccati. Am I saying it correctly?
Close, Riccati.
Riccati, well, welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. It's a delight to be here. I'm a new member. I am a retired academic physician, MD, and I'm a current graduate student in gender studies. And my area of interest is in diversity in higher education. And so a lot of what was presented tonight is what I'm doing my research on, and have experience as an academic leader at Harvard Medical School, where I became interested in the issue of gender diversity because there were so few women in leadership roles. And
Mm,
I've now broadened that interest to be about more diversity in higher education.
yes.
And I would love to be involved in a lot of the programs that you've described tonight. So thank you for having me.
Wonderful, thank you. Yes, AUW has been concerned that there aren't enough women in leadership roles in higher education across the country. So that is, and they had a webinar sometime recently about that, a woman who was doing some research. So it's something that if you're interested, it might be worth looking at on the AAUW.org webpage to see past webinars and see if there's some information there. Well, welcome, Dr. Ricciardi, and we're very happy to have you here and excited about your interest. And let me go along and see Carol Hine. Is it that correct, Carol? Welcome, Carol.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. I can.
Sometimes my audio doesn't work. I was contacted recently by Catherine Honey about possibly being involved with the STEM initiatives. And so I'm basically here to learn more about that. I've been a big supporter of AAUW for a long time. AAUW actually provided me with a dissertation fellowship in 1979, 1980, and a postdoctoral fellowship in 1984, 85, which was very helpful in helping me get publications written, to get tenure, etc. So I'm an economist. I teach economics and mainly economic history at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. I officially retired in 2019, but I've been continuing to teach a course or two, every couple of years. I'm teaching one now, a graduate course. So I'm not sure what level of involvement I'm going to be able to have. There's a lot going on in my life right now, but I've been very inspired by this meeting and really interested to learn about what you all are doing.
That's great to hear. Well, happy retirement. It's it's a beautiful phase of life.
I retired into COVID, so I don't really feel like I've gotten the experience yet. I mean, literally, I taught the fall after I retired, and then the next spring, everything shut down. So my plans haven't yet happened, but I've been very lucky. I mean, compared to a lot of people, my experience with COVID has been okay.
Good. As long as you've been healthy and well and productive, feel like you're still going forward with things. That's wonderful. Well, thank you. That's great. To every once in a while, an AAUW fellow will pop up in the course of our meetings. We last year had former state district attorney, Rachel Rollins, whom we discovered was an AAUW fellow in the course of outreach to her. So congratulations at having been a fellow, and we're very excited to see you here today. And let's see, who else? I see Tamara Ledley.
Hi, it's Tamara Ledley.
Tamara.
Yes. So just for some background first, before I get into what I'm actually doing now, I got my PhD from MIT in earth science and climate science, atmospheric science and climate science. And I did climate science research for quite a number of years and then transitioned into climate science education, did a lot of teacher professional development and curriculum development. And then towards I did that for on the order of 25 years and then stepped back and became a Harvard Advanced Leadership Initiative Fellow to explore how to make that work more impactful. And that's kind of led me to the plethora of activities that I'm involved in now. I teach global climate change at Bentley University, which is a business school. So teaching climate science to non-STEM majors is an avenue that I think is really important. I'm on the board of directors for the Blue Hill Observatory and Science Center, which is the Blue Hill Observatory is a meteorological observatory, and it's in Milton, Massachusetts, so right here in the Boston area. It has the longest meteorological continuous record in the United States. It goes back continuously to 1885. And I'm very deeply involved in developing their new exhibit hall and a new curriculum for middle school students.
Wow.
And I also took very much advantage of COVID. I was teaching my class and a new tool came out called En-ROADS. It's Energy Rapid Overview and Decision Support Model. You can run workshops with it. And I was going to be doing it just in my class in person, but I took advantage of the pandemic and I've run now over 70 of these workshops over the past few years. reaching students all over the world. In fact, tomorrow I'm running one for 100 teachers from the United States, Spain, China, Ecuador, and Mexico, I believe.
Wow.
And so it's very, very exciting work. I've done these workshops for middle school students, high school students, undergraduate students, graduate students, alumni groups, organizations like this. So if anybody's interested in such a workshop, we can talk about that.
Wonderful.
I'm also Secretary of the Education for AAAS, the American Association for the Advancement of Science, and very, very involved in that also. So that's kind of the range of activities. And I also got the email from Catherine Honey about participating in some of your STEM activities. So I came to hear what's going on.
Great. Wow, that's great. I don't even know what to say. That's a very busy person. The kind of person that Patricia was talking about. Wow.
I actually have met Patricia before, because another one that's a more minor activity of mine, I'm on the board of advisors for the Museum of Science, and one of their events, I think I met Patricia.
Oh. Could very well be. It's such a small world.
She actually mentioned AAUW because I've been a member for forever, I believe. I just haven't been actually engaged in meetings at all.
Well, the support of every member is important. We love our branches, those of us who have spent our AAUW lives in branches, and value that, but the support of every member in AAUW is important, and we welcome that. Well, thank you, Tamara. I think we have some things to talk about. Wonderful. Where is, let's see. Did I lose her?
Linda Turnbull.
No, it was in Kezi. And Kezi, did she have to go? Maybe she, oh, that's too bad. I was going to call on her next. Well, all right, Linda Turnbull, is she? There she is.
Yes. Good afternoon, I should say, almost evening. It's so nice to hear all the great stories, so many women doing so many amazing, things in life to create this space of equity for all. So it's really nice to hear these stories on a Friday afternoon as I'm still in my office. Yeah. Work.
Yes.
So yes, my name is Linda Turnbull. I'm actually in the business side of the world. I'm a principal owner, part owner of the Waldwin Group. My role is to oversee the corporate and HR, work that takes place. I recently had this amazing experience of obtaining my master's degree from the University of Southern California. And I really fell in love with learning. I've always been a champion for women and families and wanting to see women, really live and cultivate a life of being the best version of who they are. That's my value system. So the experience I had at USC, I really just want to be that person to support those endeavors for others, for all ages. Obviously, when we can influence and mentor and help others.
We're losing Linda. You're fading in and out a little bit.
But it's also being present in the moment, trying to help others navigate their way. So that's why I'm here today, and that's why I joined your organization, is because I just love learning and promote that for others.
Linda, where are you located? Linda? Oh, maybe she's frozen. I don't know. Can you hear me, Linda?
I'm sorry, I lost for a second there.
Okay. Where are you located?
Oh, I'm in Boston.
In Boston. Okay. Okay.
I actually live in Plain, and my office is in Boston.
Okay.
Linda is part of the Boston branch.
Yes.
Yes, that's right. Of course, I remember now. That's right. I remember now. Yes, yes. Well, welcome. Welcome, Linda. I think you're mentioning of USC threw me for a bit. The University of Southern California, kind of like, whoa. I'm good. Okay.
Learning again. So it was an amazing experience. So that's why I'm here to see how I can influence and help others to also reach higher education.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. Is Annette here? Annette Benatti? No? No. Okay. She was. And let's see. Any new member that I'm missing, that I'm overlooking as I look at the list? I'm so sorry that Nkezi had to go. I'll have to email her and just connect with her that way. Any other member that would like to say hello and introduce themselves?
Perhaps those who haven't had an opportunity. Oh, Holly had her hand up.
Oh, okay.
Good. I just wanted to say something for nominating, a very practical thing. Just the new terms start with the new AAUW year, which is July 1st through June 30th. And sometimes that might help those in academics to know what the year actually entails. And just one thing about STEM conference for girls. My branch has been doing it for years, thanks to Lynn Howard, but this year was the first year I had the opportunity to attend, and I was just blown away. It is such a great experience. I just encourage everyone just to come to that July 15th, just to see the girls and the hands-on and how excited they are about science and technology, and it will just make your day. It's just a wonderful experience.
It is. I got excited attending the workshop, the conference in Weymouth that Holly is talking about. And I knew that I wanted to do something about it. I wanted my branch to be part of something like this. And I've been thinking about it and finally got the chance to see it coming into being with the support of the branch and support of Catherine and the support of other members in the state, of South Shore Branch and others. And we'd love for it to be replicated, loved for it to spread to different areas. And while we know that not all these girls are going to be go into STEM, but they'll be acquiring skills that will help them. They'll be acquiring confidence, and they'll value the learning that is coming to them, that they see there. They don't necessarily have to become scientists, engineers, mathematicians, or whatever, but it's just the benefit of that learning experience with other girls, being supported by other girls and women, that is so invaluable. I think it's part of the experience of that. Yeah.
Because it's coming on 5:30, and there are a couple of members who haven't had a chance to introduce themselves. I think Mary, Gail, Nancy,
and
I don't
Lorna.
Margaret. So do we want to let them have a chance, and then you can close us out?
Sure. Okay. All right, Lorna, go ahead. Since you're
and Lorna,
you can actually see me now.
Yes, I can see.
Oh, I think I learned how to turn the camera on.
Okay. Hooray. See, the digital literacy.
Well, I'm one of the two co-presidents, probably going to just be the president. I had done programming previous to being the president, but sometimes I do both. And I'm just here sort of representing my branch, Canton branch. And we just really started back with our live meetings in September of 2022. And we've been having a meeting almost every month except I think January. And we've had some interesting speakers that Chris and Catherine came to the last one to see. Was nice to have you both there. And I'm taking notes, and I'm interested in getting the message out to my branch about what's going on and with STEM and everything. And some of the ladies here today sound like they would be interesting speakers to come to my branch.
Definitely.
It's nice to see someone who has received a grant or something from AAUW to further their education or help with their research. And it makes us feel better about what we're doing when we don't see it every day. We give the scholarships every year, and I don't know, I guess it was quite a few years back that they talked about equity and men can join and men can, so I have felt, well, that we only gave one scholarship last year because we just haven't had the money from not being able to fundraise in the past few years. And there was only one scholarship and it went to a boy. And I thought, how are we really helping women when we give scholarship to a boy? But I think we should get maybe involved more in the STEM or put our money into something that we can ensure that we're helping the girls.
We can talk about that, Lorna, and maybe find some ways to broaden the pool that you have.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Lorna.
Okay.
Let's
Nice to see everyone.
Okay. Where is Mary McClelland?
Mary had to leave.
Oh, that was Mary. Okay. Too bad. Gail.
Oh, I just wanted to, I'm just so impressed. I've been sitting here speechless. Wow, everybody, all of you. One of the things that I wanted to, I'm co-president with Lynn Howard, which is a hard act to be part of. She outruns me in circles 3 times around, but it's also my friendship with her through another organization that you may have heard of, Delta Kappa Gamma International Society of Educators. And that's actually how I wound up in AAUW, sort of an overlap with a few gals that I'd met in that organization. And I think that's one of the things I'd like to see start to happen maybe, is the partnership between the Delta Kappa Gamma. We're an international organization with something like 40,000 women in tons of different countries. And it would be that effort to, within the classroom setting, because we do have a lot of active teachers, I'm not one of those, but to bring in that's how Lynn did it. Of course, she's a 4th grade teacher with a few years to go, but to see if we can loop it into that. I heard somebody say something about curriculum. I'm not sure, I'm sorry, the name, but just developing, sort of that. We've got the teachers, you've got the knowledge, and for fields other than in the STEM particularly, and kind of work together. That might be great, because we as any organization, we do need a sort of a like an influx of enthusiasm and interest in getting girls and into these fields. Just fabulous. I can't get over what you guys are doing. Amazing.
Everybody is doing wonderful work. Thank you, Gail. Nancy, would you like to say hello? Nancy McClellan?
Yes, good afternoon. I'm one of the co-treasurers for the Melrose Wakefield branch. And I'm very happy to be here to hear what you all have to say. It's been, as Gail said, fascinating. And just a sort of side note on Lorna's comment, we also give scholarships. And one of the things we've done in the last couple of years is have the recipients in the following year come back and tell us what they've been up to. It's amazing what these young women do. Amazing. And it's been very heartwarming for us to know what we contributed to, if you will, even though the scholarships are not very large, but we've tried. As a personal note, we also had the issue with in-person meetings. We finally started again in the last fall, and dropped the Zoom. And consequently, I am now in Florida on vacation. So I've missed the March meeting, and I'm going to miss the April meeting. And I'm very happy to be able to join you all on Zoom today for this.
Great.
Yes,
So,
Zoom has opened the door for a lot of participation, and
Yes.
I love it. I'm just so glad that at first it was a learning we all had to go through, but it's been great. It's been wonderful. It keeps us going. It keeps us in touch with each other. Whether Holly's in Florida, Nancy, you're in Florida, and different people. Carol is on the western part of the state, and all over, and yet here we are in one meeting room, really, essentially. So it's wonderful. Thank you. Margaret Chalopowski. Hello, Margaret.
You can close us out, but you're on mute.
Oh, Margaret, You're on mute, Margaret. And then I think that that might be the last person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you so much. I am really impressed with what you guys are doing and our new members. This is amazing, and it's growing. You know, I am also originally I was a fellow, AAUW fellow. I was recruited from Poland in the early 90s, and ever since I've been admiring what AAUW is doing, and since 2003 I am a member of the North Shore area branch.
Wonderful.
So there is I am very, very overcommitted right now in different ways, but if I can be of any help in any of the activities that are being conducted right now and undertaken by the Massachusetts branch, I am available. I am a physician with a law degree, the background in quality management and nonprofit organizations. Currently, we have a new Copernicus Institute of New England for the Art Sciences and Law, and we are very proactive in recruiting members and also members and you know, activists, and creating collaboration between academic institutions in the United States and Europe, but not only, all around the world. We have a conference which we are organizing in collaboration with the Polish Academy of Sciences in Paris. So if anyone has any kind of academic collaboration with academic institutions in France, I would like to invite to contact me and let me know, because this is one of the priorities that we are focusing on. So, and I'm looking forward to being more involved. I am a past president from 2012, 14 till 16, so it has been a while, but you know, everything what I'm doing, I'm still available to help from time to time. So please count on me.
And
Thank you.
Thank you so
Always
much.
happy to see you, Margaret, when you have the time to join us. It's been great to see everybody. Wonderful today.
I think Mary has her hand up.
Mary. Mary, go right ahead and speak, Mary.
Oh.
No, Mary, this Mary is muted. I'm not sure which Mary. Is this Mary O'Connell?
No, Mary O'Connell has left.
Oh, it was Mary who left, but this is Mary Nankia. I'm not sure.
Well,
anyway.
Yeah.
Hopefully oh, okay. Well, anyway, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. Whoops. Okay. What? And oh, I just Catherine's giving me my prompts here. Okay. To remind everybody, the branches, I have received a few things for the Bay Stater, but we'd like any branch highlights, anything you want to be put in our newsletter as soon as possible. We're going to be putting that together and getting it ready for publication. And also to save the date, the annual meeting, April 29th, from 4 to 5:30. This is a Saturday. And we hopefully will be able to elect a new slate of leadership at that time. Thank you for your participation. And don't forget to nominate. Yes, nominate anyone that you think might be interested, with their permission, of course. Ask them, and you can nominate them, and we can contact them. And then if the option is always there to decline. But who knows? You may inspire somebody by showing confidence in their ability to do the job. That's what sometimes people don't think they can do it. But if you express confidence in them, then that might be enough to get them involved. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for attending. Thank you for supporting AUW branches and AUW Mass, and Viva AAUW. Okay. Thank you all.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.